Hello, everyone. Thanks for checking in with Callie. Happy holidays to you. Hope all is well. So, the Clippers, they get embarrassed, demolished by the Celtics by 37 points. 145, they gave up 145 points to the Celtics. The Celtics shot over 40% from the three-point line. Jason Tatum just got anything he wanted. It was just utter embarrassment. I didn't see the energy. I didn't see the effort. I need more of that on defense. I understand that Kawhi Leonard isn't there, but it really shows why Kawhi is the best player on the team because, granted that you probably was already going to lose to the Celtics anyway with Jason Tatum having a hot hand, but Jason Tatum scores 30 points in 30 minutes. Paul George just cannot guard Jason Tatum at all. He literally just got anything he wanted every time. That spin off the baseline Jason Tatum did into a dunk. He was at the 3-point line, he spin off a baseline and just goes in for a dunk like that. It just looked way too easy for him. And then they had a double digit lead. I think they were up by 68-49 right before halftime. The Clippers' energy and their defensive intensity wasn't there. And, they've talked about, playing on the defensive end first and letting their offense come. But this could be a problem for the Clippers going forward because you look at a game like this. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard wasn't there, but it lets you also know even when Kawhi Leonard is there, when he sits down, a lot of times if you look at a lot of games, when Kawhi sits down, the offense, everything changes. And sometimes, of course it's going to change because he's not in there. But, the simple fact that they look stagnant when Kawhi isn't in there at times. When he sits down just for a few minutes, there's times where other teams will get the upper hand on him and start playing with more intensity defensively, and they start to get the best of the Clippers when Kawhi sits down. And now, of course, with Kawhi being out these couple games, which they say shouldn't be long, he should be back very soon. Probably the Charlotte Hornets game they actually got coming up, I think after Christmas, I believe. But either way, Kawhi Leonard being out, it really shows, how much they miss him and how much his presence really makes a difference when, these opposing teams are coming in. Because as I said before, when you have to guard the other team's best player and still drop 30 on this end and be efficient doing it, Paul George just can't do that consistently. I keep saying Paul George is really good, but he's a streaky shooter. And streaky shooters, when they're on, they're on. But when they're not at their peak, they're not at their peak. And it's not even really about that too much with Paul George because he had he shot efficient from the field. He scored 21 points, shot efficient, but the Clippers really, look stifled against a team like this, and teams like this where there's length and there's defense and there's guys who's willing to go after the opposing team's best players and really take on that challenge, like a Derek White or somebody like that who's playing phenomenal for the Celtics as well, along with Drew Holiday. But I'm just saying, when you got guys like that will go after the opposing team's best player and defend him at the high level that he can, along with Drew Holiday. Like I said, really, the law firm really they had a kosher night, really, to me, because looking at the very first play of the game, Jaylen Brown they get the rebound, the Celtics, in the tip off. And then Jaylen Brown comes off a screen and just pulls up for three. And I was like, that was the first play of the game. And I was like, wow, that's way too easy. That just looked like it was just a easy play for them to run. And it's that was the start of the game where it looked like it was going to be no resistance on the Clippers' part in regards to defense. And like I said, you can't lag on defense whether Kawhi is there or not. You still have to play with that effort and that energy and propel forward. And like I said, this could be a problem with the Clippers because when Kawhi sits down in games, you can watch games where he sits down and they look a little shaky on defense and the other team makes a run and it just looks like the offense gets a little stagnant, the defense gets a little stagnant, that they're kind of hesitating, second guessing what they should do. And, it's those little moments in games can really come back to hurt you because we all know basketball is a game of runs. run. So those little moments always come back and hurt you when you're on your heels like that. And the Clippers can't play on their heels. I mean, they still had Paul George, they still had James Harden and Russell Westbrook. You still had enough firepower to go out there and compete at a better level than that against the Celtics. I mean, honestly, like I said, it looked like no resistance from the Clippers' part, in regards to the Celtics getting what they want. And like I said, you give up 145 points on your home floor. If you give up 145 points on your home floor, I expect you to at least have 130 plus against the opposing team, not have 108. It's just not a good look. It shows their lack thereof, basically. You know what I'm saying? In the team effort and how they came out flat, more so in regards to that on the defensive end. Well, actually, you could say on the offensive end, too, because, I mean, the plays weren't ran, they weren't executing enough, the way they should to get what they needed on the offensive end. But that's definitely due to, Boston's defense because, like I said, Derek White and Drew Holiday, they're really like, guys who play really good defense. And they really actually stifle teams very well, with that defensive trap scheme they had between them two players. So I understand that. But at the same time, you have enough on the floor to score more than 108 points. And another thing, they definitely have to, be consistent at is, the rebounding. You gotta crash those boards offensively and defensively. On both ends of the floor, you gotta get extra rebounds. You gotta crash those boards a lot better and be more physical in there because when you play a team like Boston, they're gonna come out with, a level of physicality because, like I said, they can guard defensively on the perimeter, and like I said, they can even play small ball. But all their guys are very lengthy and can get rebounds, and they just hustle. Those guys just hustle, especially, like I said, Derek White and Drew Holiday specifically. Those guys bring the hustle to that whole team. So it's like, you got to crash the boards better. You got to just, make every possession count, especially when you're missing, your best player like Kawhi Leonard. Even though you're missing him, like I said, I still think the game could have been a lot closer, but it wasn't. And this is just a lesson learned for the Clippers, just play that bring that defensive energy every time you step on the floor. And at least give yourself a chance to win, whether one of the guys are missing or not. But that's what they have to always realize, especially when they're playing against better competition, because, the season is only going to go forward, but, the competition is only going to get better, and you're going to have to be prepared for whatever teams throw at you.